Hello and welcome. Does anyone want to hazard a guess at what's in the case here? The badge, I'm not sure if you can read it, did give away it's a Singer. If you guessed a Singer 401A, well, you'd be correct because that's exactly what's in there. This is another machine that I picked up. Sorry about the state of it, it's in a bit of a mess. This is basically how I received the machine. What I'd like to do today is a little bit of an assessment video. Maybe have a look if there's anything wrong with the machines, whether I can make a good one out of two or whether I've got two good working machines here. So this one I picked up, this has all original foot controller here. It looks all good there. All the cables look original. I normally check the cables when I first get a machine. I normally check them for any problems with the insulation, which is very important. You don't want any bare wires showing there. It came with a couple of little attachments. That looks like some sort of binding attachment, and a few pattern cams, some spare bobbins, bits and pieces. Yeah, it's quite dirty. I'll give it a clean, but I have noticed a little bit of corrosion on these guides and bits and pieces, so it has been sitting in a damp area by the look of that. Anyway, I think that should clean up quite nicely. And this one, in its original cover, it's looking very tidy. I can see there that this power cable here has been replaced. That's not original. It's a 2-core flex, but the foot controller looks original, as does the plug here. It all looks original. But yeah, this one's in nice condition actually. All the metal work and the likes looks in pretty good nick. So this one here, I think if it is all in working condition, might make its way into my collection. Even if it's not in working condition, I could probably look out for parts and bits and pieces to get this machine into working condition. And in the meantime, it's just a very nice machine to look at. I can't see any reason why that wouldn't be working. There's something going on in here. It's making a strange grating noise. I noticed on these labels here, if we have a look at these side by side, notice this common sort of wear, the label. Oh, was that where when the case is being put on? That's what that'll be. It was when the lid's being put on, the latch is coming down and rubbing on the label. That's a bit of a shame, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah. That's jamming as well, that one. That one feels nicer. So something's going on in here. So let's have a look at that. I'm not going to power the machine, should I? Maybe I should just quickly power the machine on. Just to make sure that we've got something. I obviously don't want to, run this for too long by the sounds of it. Sounds okay. Needs oil. Just having a close look in here, seeing a little bit of wear on here. That's like it's scraping somewhere. Let's get the lid off and have a wee look and see what's going on there. Just two flathead screws at the top. Really nice little machines these. I really like the look of these. This is the Slant-O-Matic. The little door there will fall open because it's no longer latched here, and in fact you can just lift that and take it off its little hinges there, just 2 pins here that locate into holes. So the good thing about having 2 machines is you can compare them. And you can see here when I turn the hand wheel that this shaft is lifting quite a way. That's that clunking noise. So something up with the motor. And is this normal? There's like a threaded piece sticking out the top there. Here's the other machine here. And there's a little retaining clip here. And if I turn that, there's absolutely no movement of this shaft up and down. So it looks like it might be time to get the motor out. So let's have a look underneath and see if we can get access to this motor. And just gently tip that back. Okay, so notice the rubber feet are missing. I've got some of those on order. Everything looks intact. Yeah, so that is hard to turn. I'll take this off as well. Maybe get the hand wheel off. Might just make things a little bit easier to get to. It's nicely chromed, isn't it? Beautiful machines. Now that there just slides off. Hand wheel pops out nice and easily, and they have this spring-loaded type mechanism here. The purpose of that will be to dampen any vibration and whatnot, so it makes this very nice and smooth. So what's been scraping on here? That's what I'd like to know. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's causing that scraping there. I'll have a closer look at that, just trying to get the motor out now. Just noticed, I was looking down here, there's actually a clip that is loose, just sitting there. Actually, I think this whole, I can see a little bit of damage down there too. Just in these areas, I might not get that on camera. Not sure how well this will come through on camera there, but I can see damage down here. We'll get a closer look when we get the motor out. So the motor is actually force fit into a metal housing. So what you can do is, if you can move the motor, if you can twist it just ever so slightly, well then you know that it's free enough to start to move and come out. So it's going to come out towards us, and once it's freed up, just a little helping hand from this direction, push on the shaft there to help the machine, to help the motor come out whilst you work the other end. Now you don't want to go hitting this end here, because that can damage the motor and the shaft and the bearings. So the first thing to do is to get this to the point where you can actually turn it, as I say, ever so slightly, but we do need to be careful. What I'm going to do is try and free this up. Now I don't want to go, although we want to turn this to free things up, don't want to go putting any screwdrivers down and levering against the plastic, because or the Bakelite, I think that might be as well. So that can be quite brittle. Don't want to go breaking anything, so we need to be careful. Just wondering if this needs a little heat. This machine needs heating maybe a little bit, just to expand that bearing slightly. Okay, it is sometime later. I took the end housing off the motor, and you can see the play there. The whole armature is moving up and down, and as you can see, I've been unable to get the motor out. And if we have a look down through the top here, you'll see the whole bearing moving. That metal ring there, that bearing is just floating up and down. You can see the bearing popping out there, and you might notice that it's all looking all sort of messy down in here, and that's because it's quite a bit of the material broken off there. And this little channel just here, that little channel there, that's where the that ring was sitting, and that ring holds the armature and this bearing in place, and that's all broken away. So this motor's not in a healthy state. So I'm actually tempted to give up on this one, actually, because you know the motor's a fairly important part of the machine. This whole situation, and I've still not been able to work this free. That's just the lower sort of housing part turning. The upper housing is still locked solid in its bearing. I was going to try putting the machine in front of a heater and just seeing whether that might loosen things up, but I've got two ideas. One is I'll make a good one out of the other machine that I showed you, the untidier one. I'll swap the good parts from this machine here onto it, likes of the rusty bits and pieces, the rusty chromes, bits and pieces like that. But the other thought I've got is converting this to a treadle. The only thing is that motor being in the way. What I thought I could do to convert this to a treadle, no, I don't think it can be. No, this machine I don't think can be converted to a treadle. Oh, that's a shame. So I'll use things like, the hand wheel off this nice machine, but broken machine. I'll use the bits off this on the other machine. I think that's going to be it for this one. I will come back for a part 2 sort of restoration video, if you like, on the Singer 401A. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that and found that somewhat helpful, and I thank you very much for watching.